Welcome to Dropping In, a podcast of storytelling and interviews with your host, Winter Olympian Mercedes Nicoll.
Thank you so much for dropping in today. This is Series 11, and this is my 100th episode, and you will see that I have a guest with me. Now, I have been having this whole episode be done with just me and ChatGPT, but on my 100th episode, I wanted to have a phenomenal guest on, and that is she is. And so if you listen to my brother's series, it's kind of nerve-wracking for me to read the bio while they're right next to me, but here we go. Let me introduce this guest that you now see in front of you for episode 100. I kind of can't believe it. All right. Now, this guest has been my mentor and my friend from a very young age. She took me under her wing when I was maybe about 16. We were debating that. When snowboarding was in its infancy, there was a crew at the Vancouver resort, Mount Seymour. Now, if you know, you know. She's an original Seymour kid. The first women's pro contest she entered was in 1993, the West Beach Classic halfpipe, and she won. She told herself that if she won that contest, she would pursue a pro career in snowboarding. And that worked. She went on to become first at the quarter pipe in the Sims World Championships in 2001. She could be found shooting snowboard video parts all around the Whistler backcountry. She spent many years traveling the world for snowboard contests, photo shoots, and video shoots. You would find her in all the magazines, featured in snowboard videos as well. She competed at X Games, Trans World Team Challenge, Snowboard Magazine, Super Park Event, and so much more. She even competed for Team Canada on the national halfpipe team back in the day. She was sponsored by many snowboard companies. In 98, she helped design and test the first women's snowboard boot for 32 called the Griffin. She helped design the first women's line for West Beach and founded the first women's snowboard company, Chorus, in 2000 by 5 professional world-class female snowboarders, including legends Cara Beth Burnside, Leslie Olsen, Tomoyuki Omoshi, and Jana Mayan. She brought me on as an amateur in the Chorus team. And that was the first time that I felt supported in the snowboard industry as a girl/woman. What a time, and I'm grateful to have this legend by my side. This friend, wife, pro snowboarder, entrepreneur, designer, TBI survivor is one of my best friends. I'm happy to introduce Roberta Walker, because now you go by Walker.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous. That's really exciting to be here.
I think sometimes like the weirdest part when I do these is reading the bio because you don't really think about your own accolades.
Yeah.
And then when they're all there, you're like, pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
It's pretty rad. I love it. Okay, so you are no stranger to this podcast, are you?
Not at all. I've heard them all.
You've heard them all. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring up ChatGPT, because I got to keep it consistent, right?
Totally.
And what we're going to do is hopefully this works, or I'm going to take ones from the other one. We are going to get the 10 rapid fire questions.
Oh, from ChatGPT. Okay, sweet.
Like I've never done that one before. Usually I like snag them, but I want to see what ChatGPT is going to say this time. So let's pull up 10 questions. 10 more, and then you will get to see it come up just like that. I don't know, it's the craziest thing. So we'll start with number 1. Favorite childhood TV commercial. Is there a TV commercial from your childhood that you still remember fondly? That's a hard question.
That's a really hard question. And so actually when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch TV.
Fair.
Yes. Because my mom told me that they just use TVs to try to sell you things we can't afford.
Oh.
So
but she's not wrong.
No, I know, totally. But so yeah, I don't have a lot of TV time
That's
for
totally
my childhood.
Fair.
Sorry.
That's okay. You know what I did in the last episode that you haven't heard yet that hasn't come out? I skipped one.
Oh, okay, sweet.
It went to like a historical person that you would have on or something like that. I was like, oh gosh, on the like spot, I can't think. I personally think of like this one French fries kid, like the crinkly French fries. There's like this cute little kid back in the 80s. That's the stupidest commercial, but he loves his French fries. Okay, Number 2, dream fictional job. If you could have any job from a fictional universe, what would it be? A job.
Yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Come on. That's like a given. I'm in.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. Do you still have that painting?
I do still have
You
that
do.
painting. Mercedes painted me a Buffy painting because I do love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like big time.
We didn't even talk about in your bio the sessions. Remember the sessions kit that you made, and you made all of the names Buffy?
Yes.
All of the lines of like the jackets and the pants, they all had Buffy names.
Yeah.
I
I
like
know.
that.
I was
that.
obsessed.
You even sent her a chorus snowboard.
I did send her a chorus snowboard and toque and jacket and wrote her a letter.
Did she ever get back to you?
I didn't get a response.
I'm sure she got it though.
I hope she did.
You're probably neighbors with her now. Okay, number 3. Favorite holiday tradition. Different. Okay, well, you haven't had these questions before.
Okay.
What's another holiday tradition that you cherish?
Holiday tradition. Goodness.
What do you and JP do for Christmas? Is that like tradition?
We don't have traditions. We don't really. So I don't have any current traditions. The only traditions I remember as a kid that I liked is for Christmas, my mom would take us ice skating at Robson Square. And I loved that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was just thinking? That we could go ice skating here. I'm just throwing that out there. It's piss pouring, disgusting weather at Whistler, so we're not going up the mountain on January 30th, 2024. It's very different weather here. Okay, that's a cool one. Okay, I think of you guys just traveling, and that's your traveling for surf trips. That's like your tradition in my head.
Yes, definitely. It's the tradition is doing something outdoors that's fun.
Yeah, I like
which
that.
So is ice skating at Robson Square.
That's true. Number 4, unique superhero power. If you could create a completely unique superhero power, what would it be, and how would you use it?
Ooh, that's really hard.
That's a very in-depth, specific.
It's very
question.
specific. Goodness, drop it in hot here. Okay, superpower.
It's hard to think of them sometimes.
I know. Like, because this is one that I have to make up.
Well, yeah, but you could also just choose whatever you want that's already been made up.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
My unique superpower would be like a warm energy field.
What does that mean?
Well, just that like
warm?
Like warmth, but it's like an energy
Oh.
field. So I could like that person could use some warmth energy.
And with a side of love?
Yes. And I could like project that energy onto them.
Oh, you're like giving happiness.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, so many people need that.
Yes.
Especially in January.
Yes. Especially when it's so dark all the time.
It is. Okay. I really like that one. Okay, number 5, favorite type of landscape. Do you prefer mountains, beaches, forests, or cities when it comes to landscapes? You don't have to just choose one.
That one's really hard. And actually though, I can't currently, like in life we change, right? Like it goes up and down. And so I'm going to say what's my current favorite landscape.
Okay.
But it kind of incorporates too, because it is the mountains. And the mountains in North Vancouver are forests.
And you're by the beach.
I love being in nature, and I love being in the mountains, and there's trees in the mountains. So it's just right now that's currently my favorite type of landscape. And
you also live in Southern California, so you've got beaches.
Yeah, there's beaches there too.
You want them.
But there's no mountains.
No, not really.
And that's a bummer.
I know. Imagine that was the dream. We'll find that place one day. Okay, dream car, different from your current car. If you could own any car in the world, what would it be? Ooh. I
Ooh.
know that you're one with the environment, and
I know.
you went early in on
Yeah.
the. What do you have, a hybrid?
I have a hybrid. Yeah, I
You
have a
went early.
Prius. Yeah, I've had it for a long time,
Yeah.
and I love that. I love that vehicle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I honestly am not a big car person,
Yeah.
like, period.
Yeah.
I actually have in the past bought a brand new car without even seeing it before it even came out because I didn't care. I would say, like, really my dream car right now would be anything electric.
Anything electric.
Yeah, anything
Okay.
electric, but I'm not tied to, like, I mean, I would probably say Toyota because I have a Toyota
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
last forever. And what model? I don't know. You know, it's electric. Good to go.
Fully electric, like plug-in.
Yeah, full on.
I know. The thing is, I can't do that where I live. I don't have like
Yeah.
a real plug
Yeah,
yet. I
yeah.
mean, and then it's the funny thing is that I've had friends that will be like driving up to LA, like from LA to Mammoth,
Mhm.
and they'll actually rent a car even though they have electric because the
There's no
infrastructure's
yeah,
not
it's
in
not
yet.
there.
Because
Yeah.
then it's like an extra like 2 hours because you're lining up to reboot.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't make it from
Yeah. Interesting.
Mhm.
Electric all the way. I totally get it.
Mhm.
Once the infrastructure's in for me. Number 7, preferred type of exercise.
Mm.
What kind of exercise do you like? You do a lot.
I do a lot. So am I picking one?
You
Because
can
I
just
can. Or
feel like you're gonna pick swimming.
yeah, I mean that's pretty up there. Swimming is way up there, you know, which is so funny because side note, I wanted to learn how to surf, and so I was like, I better learn how to swim because I never learned how to do that as a kid. You know, as a kid, no TV, no swimming.
Minor details.
Yeah, and so Mercedes over here took me to what's it called,
Meadow Park.
Meadow Park to teach me how to swim, and
It was okay.
it wasn't that great. I mean, even the lifeguard came over like to help. That's like how
You're a sinker though.
I am a total sinker.
You're a sinker.
Everyone looks at me and is like, "Oh, she's so skinny. She's probably like I sink like there's no tomorrow." And now I love swimming. I look forward to it. It's like a good way to start the day. I actually swam this morning.
I've never had to teach anyone how to swim before, and that was very interesting for me. I was like, okay, how do we break down like the breaststroke and the front crawl? And then like you're just like literally your butt is just like dragging the whole way. I was like, okay.
I'm bottom heavy.
It's all good. Swimming, that's a good one. Favorite childhood snack?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of an easy one. And it's not a snack I have anymore, but cheese.
Like cheese strings or just slices?
No, like I loved like slices of cheese, but I also loved, I don't remember what they're called, but they came in the little circular packages.
Baby bells?
Yes.
Who doesn't like a baby bell?
I loved those.
I was thinking you were going to have those like craft cheese slices.
Oh no. See, we didn't have like my mom, we didn't have any of that kind of processed food type stuff. No, totally not.
That's nice.
Yeah.
We did.
Yes.
We did. And now looking back on it, being like, I did like those, but that's what was in the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have any of that.
Okay. Dream collaborative meal. If you could collaborate with a famous chef to create a meal, what would be on the menu? Wait, who would the chef be?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, can you tell me? Because he's a famous chef. I know nothing about
Jamie
that.
Oliver?
Yeah, but see, I don't even know who he is. I mean, I know the name, but I don't know
I have all of his books
or what he
me.
makes. I guess like whoever's the most famous chef for making types of fish would be who I would want.
Yeah.
And what would be on the menu? Well, fish. But like
what kind of like whitefish?
You know, I don't know.
Like sushi?
Ooh, no. Like parrotfish.
I don't even know what that means.
I know, it's a parrotfish.
Like what? That's the kind of fish it is?
That's a kind of fish.
Where do you get it?
Well, I've had it in Mexico.
Oh, parrot, like the bird.
I think so.
They're serving you chicken. No,
it's totally a fish cooked in a banana leaf with like
lemon.
No, not lemon. More like of a red sauce.
Oh, you'd have to Google this now.
Yeah. So
Parrotfish.
yeah. So whoever that chef is out there that knows how to make that, give me a call.
You're going to Mexico. You're going to Mexico. Okay, last question of the never rapid fire questions. Ideal weekend evening activity. How would you spend your ideal Saturday evening?
Ooh. Gosh, that's a hard one because, I'm pretty boring.
You don't think you're boring?
Ideal. Yeah, I'm kind of going two places right now. I'm trying to figure out what would be ideal. Like,
I feel like you'd go to the gym.
yeah, well, I do that in the morning. No, but at night, you know what? An ideal Saturday night is this. It's going to Yaletown
Okay.
and with JP, or actually with a friend. I'm
Yeah.
totally into that. Like just going to Yaletown with a friend or with JP and having my favorite sushi
Yeah.
at Bistro Sakana and then getting Mr. Ice Cream after.
yeah.
That's like, I so look forward to that. And I wish it was warm enough right now I could do that. But it's too dark and cold.
It's true.
But that's like an ideal Saturday night. Like I'm going out. I'm out on the town.
Yeah.
I'm downtown.
Look at you go. What
Yes.
time? What time is this happening?
Like 6 o'clock.
So good.
We're the first ones in the restaurant.
We made it. We made it through the rapid
Okay.
fire. Done and dusted.
Awesome.
So as you know, this series, I had ChatGPT talk to me about my career.
Mhm.
And I thought it would be kind of fun if we did like a little like bit on each episode about your career.
Okay.
Knowing you didn't go to a couple Olympics.
Yeah.
But
I didn't
you
go to a single.
You went to mine though.
Oh yeah, I went to yours. And I mean yes, I was.
You were at mine
I
in the audience.
Yes.
So I
yes.
count
yes,
that.
Okay,
You've been to
okay.
an Olympics.
Yes, I have.
Let's talk about early influences and beginnings
Mhm.
because I wasn't there for that part of it. So I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. I skateboarded before I learned how to snowboard. And like I grew up in North Vancouver. And back then, this is the early 90s, skateboarding wasn't that cool.
Yeah.
And it also was small. And I made a lot of friends.
Yeah.
A lot of guy friends from different high schools on the North Shore, an awesome group of girl skateboarders from all over Vancouver, and was super into that. So because of that, I didn't ski, but my brother hadn't been living with us. He'd been living in Manitoba with my dad, and he came to live with us. And for Christmas, he asked for a snowboard. Like he didn't know that Christmas is ice skating. But anyways,
he did not get the family memo.
He didn't get the family memo. And so me and my mom went to on Granville Street. I think it was maybe called I can't remember what it was called. But anyways, we bought a snowboard for me and Graham to share.
Okay.
But one caveat, of course, Graham had snowboarded before, and my dad and their family, they skied, they did those type of things that we didn't do. And back then, your bindings were actually drilled into your board.
Oh, like they're staying in there.
Yeah, they're staying in there.
Wait, like through?
No, not through, but it was just like
they're not coming out.
They're not coming out. And so the board that we bought, Kemper Freestyle, was drilled for a regular footer. And I'm regular and my brother's goofy. So I didn't even ask for it. I got the board. And then
I'm curious as to what the stance would have been.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it was like
there was no going switch for him.
No, it was probably pretty like
racer
yeah. Like it was. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but and then so one of my good friends from Argyle, a skateboard friend, Sean Keane, he took us up to Seymour, and and of course I didn't even know you were supposed to turn. Like I just was like
went straight.
Yeah, I just tried to go straight as long as I could.
I respect that. To this day, I still respect people that do that.
And then from there, like I just like my friend Shelly Murray, she started snowboarding too. And then like, I'd already kind of met some people through skateboarding at Griffin, like Swaro and Kevin Sansalone and Derek Scott and stuff. And so just started riding a lot and getting
and then
into
they
it.
would be up there.
Yeah. And so then like, I would see them skateboarding, and then we became friends snowboarding, like, and they totally helped me out. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I think actually one of the things that spurred me was that's when we first, watching these snowboard videos and seeing like Cersei Wallace or Jana actually from contests. And
but how did you get into contests? Did they just happen around you?
They did. Well, see, that's the thing.
Seymour was like a mecca.
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't maybe as much. I mean, we were all riding at Seymour, so I guess, it was a mecca. But I think my very, very first contest I ever entered in was at Mount Seymour.
Yeah.
And it was like, the contest was under the mystery chairlift, like in that gully. And it might have been the same contest that this hip got named after Sean Kearns, the Kearns hit, like that same contest. And I won.
Yeah.
So then it was just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, let's just, then it was the full BCSA series and we're doing this. And there were so many people you become friends with, like even up here in Whistler, like Peaches Grant, like I would, I was like 14, 15. Obviously I didn't drive, and I'd drive to contests with her in her Saab or whatever that was.
That is so funny because she was my coach.
I know.
Okay, we're really. That's who then I would go to contests with. She took me under her wing too. Oh, it's a small bubble world.
It is a small bubble, especially back there. Awesome. Like you saw a snowboarder on the mountain and they were like instantly your friend, because they were the only other snowboarder or whatever. So it was really cool.
Oh, so cool. Okay. Let's talk about mentors for you.
Yeah.
Who like other than the Seymour kids? Like that's a bunch of guys that like nowadays would look nowadays they're all friends, but like maybe intimidating for the outside people looking in, right?
I don't know. I mean,
You were in. You were in. Everyone was like, everyone probably wanted to be a Seymour kid. Like there's no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, those guys were so my mentors.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Like Kevin Sansalone, like he got me on 32.
Amazing.
And like Swaro Dovin, like he got me on Yang, and he totally in his style, like I mean, I just really looked up to those guys.
Yeah.
Like Derek Scott. And there was just so many, mostly guys I looked up to.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely like I'd say like I mean, I'd look up to girls I saw in videos. And then there was some girls that like I competed with, like Anna Fitzsimons and Peaches.
Yeah.
Like there was definitely like girls around that were
for sure
cool. But I definitely was looking up to the Seymour kids, my friends.
Yeah, I know. I had the Real Wild Kittens on, and I think I should have like asked them more in depth. Like I want to see them on the mountain. I'll be like, who did you look up to? Because then they had like a bunch of girls to look up to, whereas like I had you, and like. But before that, it was like all dudes.
Yeah,
but totally. I mostly still looked to the dudes.
Yeah, totally. I totally looked at the dudes. I mean, I looked at girls that I'd see in movies. Like I want to be like them, but I didn't have it like people like right here like that. So it was just different.
And now just to touch on like, I had to talk about training and preparation, and obviously mine was a little bit different because in the snowboard world, it wasn't cool to work out in the gym, and I didn't want to work out in the gym. I just wanted to be on snow, but then being on the national team, it was like mandated, and I went kicking and screaming. So what would you do to like prepare for the season? Was it skateboarding, surfing? I don't know.
You know what? So it was mostly skateboarding. Like I definitely and then I did actually get more into working out, actually, because this one year, it must have been 1996, I sprained my ankle and I had to go to physical therapy, which I hadn't done before. And I didn't mind it. And I actually did all this balance stuff and did all this, I was off the hill for like 3 weeks or whatnot. And then I went to, I'm pretty sure it was nationals in Big White. And I was riding so good.
Yeah.
Actually, I should have calmed myself down. I was just like, Red. Everyone's like, where have you been riding? You're riding so good, And it was because of that physical therapy I was doing,
Right.
But I got too excited and I practiced way too much and tired myself out before the finals. I mean, I still did okay, but I definitely, and so in that, I was like, oh, okay, actually. So I did start working out.
Yeah.
Not during the season, but in the off season, I would be at the rec center
Mm-hmm.
working out.
Yeah. Because you got that little glimmer.
I got that
like,
little glimmer of what a difference
oh,
it made. Like, because
mhm.
I was like, I'm off the hill for 3 weeks, whatever it was, like right
Mhm.
before nationals. This is going to suck.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it.
So I've kind of stuck to that now.
Which is so funny because like before this interview, I'm like, well, I just did my workout at the gym, like begrudgingly still doing it, but I have to do it now so my ribs don't pop out.
Mhm.
Like it's more just taking care of the body now.
Yeah. Mine's about taking care of the body now too.
Yeah, 110%. All right, so challenges and triumphs. Should we talk about that next?
Okay.
So you've had a lot of injuries. You just
Mhm.
talked about your sprained ankle. I have this wild memory of you in a big air at the top of Whistler. Do you remember that? Top of Whistler next to the helipad.
Yeah.
I don't know what contest. Maybe it was the Showcase Showdown or something like that. But it was
Or like a kokanee maybe? Or
May-
showcase. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
and you were just going for it. You're this tiny human going off this gigantic jump, and I feel like you might have gotten injured in that one, but maybe not. But let's talk about some of your injuries that you.
I mean, it might have been that one. I mean, I didn't get like
That would have been like the 2000s, maybe
I
late
know.
90s. But what else? What
Okay,
else?
well,
has
so here's the
happened for
thing. Like
snowboarding?
I did have, in my opinion, not major injuries.
Yeah.
Because I fractured ribs.
Yeah.
I did have a couple concussions,
Mhm.
and I dislocated the shoulder. That was on a rail actually,
Mhm.
and yeah, I broke at Super Park one year. I broke and dislocated like 3 ribs in my back.
Right.
And that was actually the most painful injury I've ever had.
Ribs.
Well, yeah, because I've fractured them before, but those ones were
Yeah.
like, that was nuts.
And then there's nothing you can do.
There's
Yeah.
nothing you can do. But I
Just
had to
good luck breathing and laughing.
I had to be taken down like on the back stretcher and everything, which I'd never done that. And I was like, but by the time I got down there, I actually knew like, oh, it's not my back, it's this. And I had also like chipped a really big section of a tooth that now has a crown on it because of it.
Isn't that crazy how it all like attaches?
Yeah. So yeah, I for myself, I feel like I was kind of fortunate.
Yeah.
I had injuries, like I definitely did. Like it'd keep me off the mountain for a bit, but
it wasn't like knee surgeries.
Knee surgeries, exactly.
I just remember hearing about like knee surgeries and being like, why are people coming back?
Yeah.
Like how do you come back after a knee surgery?
Yeah.
And then I had my crash and I was like, well, there's no doubt in my mind. I'm not coming back. And so if we can just touch on your traumatic brain injury. For those of you that don't know, Roberta was biking in Encinitas and got hit by a truck. And it's actually just lucky that you're even here.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
It's unbelievable. So you had your skull taken out for a while. Do you want to go through your injuries if you're okay with that?
Yeah. So I fractured my skull. I broke my clavicle. I broke all the ribs in my back. I punctured my lung, and I burst fractured my T4 and my T12. So that's in your thoracic spine.
And I don't know how you are here right now, to be completely honest, but I am so grateful.
Yeah. My back dented the grill of the truck.
Oh my God.
And that's where I was so strong before and so healthy, So like being strong and healthy, like it pays.
It does. Go to the gym, everyone. Honestly, it pays off. And I don't want to belittle all the hard work that you put into that, because that is huge. How many years and still?
Yeah. I mean, I was in full-time rehabilitation for 2.5 years after that.
Yeah.
And that's like physical, cognitive, and emotional, right? Because it's I mean, your brain is kind of everything.
Yeah.
For one thing, and then the significant injuries and surgeries I had.
Yeah, it's wild.
Mhm.
And so many people ask me, they're like, how's Roberta? I'm like, a goddamn miracle. She's a miracle. Like, she's walking, she's talking,
Yeah.
she can do like almost
Mhm.
every, like when we went snowboarding, what was
Mhm.
that last year or year before?
Maybe, yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is gonna be like slow. I was like, oh, she's not slow. Like, you're freaking crushing it. And then you're out there surfing too.
Yeah, I'm
I know you
trying.
want to get better at
Yeah,
surfing,
I'm
but like
having
your back has
Yeah.
been
Mhm.
mangled and
That's
the
hard.
fact that you're out there in the
Mhm.
water is something else. And I got
Mhm.
to see that firsthand in
Yes.
October. I was
Yes.
like, I had like tears in my eyes. I was like watching you and JP surf. I was like, oh my God, Roberta's really out there. It's the coolest thing ever. So we have actually spent a lot of time talking about the effects of brain injuries
Mhm.
and how much patience it does take
Yeah.
and how much perseverance it takes.
Mhm.
And I think that it's something not to take lightly that, yes, we were, and well, we were, I don't know, we maybe still are elite athletes
Mhm.
in that essence.
Mhm.
And I think that the mind of an elite athlete is different because we don't have a desk job to go back to.
Yeah.
When we talked about that a little bit.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know what it is that clicks in our brain, but it was something where I was like, no, yeah, I'm going again. Like,
Yeah.
I want sport back in my life.
Mhm.
I value that. And so do you want
Totally.
to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, like I value sport, and also it's brought me so much.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like being with people and community and moving, like it's just like it's so a part of me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just not something that I could like not do.
I know.
I mean, yeah, and it's hard to be like, okay, well, yeah, I used to do it at this level, and now I'm
Yeah.
going to do it at this level, and that's hard.
That's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part,
Yeah,
because it's just like, okay, like, and I struggle back and forth with acceptance of that,
Yeah.
Still, because
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, but I'm just so used to like working really hard and being able to get to here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But working really hard
to get
now is just like to here.
I know. It's like it's the most infuriating
Yeah.
thing, but then if you don't celebrate those tiny
Totally.
little like baby steps, then you
Mhm.
feel like you're going nowhere.
Yeah, totally.
And honest to God, it took me 8 years to be able to snowboard at top speed and in fog
Mhm.
again, which I went 4 years later to an Olympics. So like
Yeah.
that says
Yeah,
something
totally.
to like still persevering
Mhm.
and not giving up.
Yeah.
Whereas I think a lot of people that might not have that passion for
Mhm.
something,
Mhm.
they might kind of like need to look a little deeper and see what their
Mhm.
true values are, I guess.
Totally.
That's like the only way I could
Mhm. Yeah,
explain it.
yeah, I think so, and yeah, and I just want to touch on like what you said about celebrating the little wins, because that advice from you was huge when I got out of the hospital.
Aw.
Huge. And I still to this day do that.
Yeah.
Like, because I am still like coming across things I hadn't returned to or hadn't done yet. And when I do them, I'm like, win.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
because I'm so like, you gave me that, and it's helped me because I'm like, okay, like, because I think that is probably like our mindset of from being an athlete, like it's progress, it's win, it's this and this, and you can still have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just different things you're
It's a
celebrating.
pain in the ass.
It is.
It's a pain in the ass. You can say that. It is a pain in the ass. But you know what? Like, I just then the thing that makes me I'm not leaving this topic yet because it brings back memories to me going to like yoga
Mhm.
when I was still super out of it. And that was an internal battle.
Yes.
Like being like, okay, cool. I can't even come close
Yes.
to what I was doing before. And I haven't done yoga in forever
Yeah.
since because it did not help with my head, like the
Mhm.
up and the down and
Mhm.
everything. But I definitely felt defeated there.
Totally.
If there's one of the easiest things that you can do, it's yoga, and you're unable to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That just beat me down real hard.
Yeah, I get that. I had the same experience. I tried to do yoga and I was like,
I don't know why is that the hardest? Like
so hard, It's like, and it's just so frustrating to have been I'm not a flexible person.
No, me
Like I
neither.
never have been.
Yeah.
And I was good at yoga. Like, I was like, I got balance, I got strength,
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
it's just, and then all of a sudden I'm like trying to do yoga after my injuries. And it was like, I'd never ever done yoga in my whole life.
I know. I feel the same way. I have a tear in my eye because it really pisses me off. Okay. Well, let's move on from that because I'm just so proud of you, and I will start crying if we start talking more in depth about it. Let's go back to
Oh gosh.
I have like such good memories of us traveling together, and Roberta, like, mad kudos. She just like took this young girl under her wing, and then we would be like traveling together. We'd be like going down to Mount Bachelor.
Yeah.
Remember that with High
Yes.
Cascade? They're like, "Oh,
Yes.
come coach with this," and I was like, "Okay, I'm here with Roberta. I don't know what's happening, but we're just doing it." And then the next thing, we're at like the team challenge in
Yeah.
Tahoe. And then we're dressing up for like the pajama party with Shannon
with
Dunn,
Shannon.
and
So
Kimmy was there.
fun.
It's like where
Yeah.
you meet like so many amazing
Yeah.
people. And then you brought me down to Mount Hood, and I went there for like every summer after that. And then we did have a little run in at the border once where my dad had to come pick us up.
That was the best.
Isn't he a legend?
He's the best. And then we went to White Spot, and I was like, I need triple O sauce after that.
So we have and we were in Chile, and you guys got to leave early,
and we wanted to bring you with us, but they wouldn't let you because you were too young.
So I was with the national team on the development team, and that was the World Cup where I was like, I don't remember everyone was there.
Yeah,
like Travis was there. Like Dustin Craven was there. I was just like, all these people are coming out of the woodwork trying to compete for the Salt Lake Olympics.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Everyone wanted to go to the Olympics. But that was the one where I was like, if they're going, I want to go.
Yeah.
But then I got stuck with the national team, and it was September 11th, 2001. These guys had already flown home just a day before me, and I got stuck in the air, and we got grounded in Kansas City. And this was like my grade 12 year.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm missing 2 days of the first day of school, thinking that was a big deal. I'm sorry. No, the World Trade Center had 2 planes go into it.
Yeah.
We had bigger problems.
Yeah, that was a beast. I felt bad leaving you there. And then I felt especially bad when I woke up in the morning and there was just a note outside my door that said, turn on the TV. And I was like, what? Because we got home and went to bed. You know what I mean? Didn't even know. And then woke up and I was like, oh my gosh.
Who left you that note?
My sister, Carrie.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the things that were crazy about that is that our flight was from Miami, and one of the flights was from Miami.
Yeah.
So my mom called in Air Canada and was like, they're like, where's your daughter like flying to and from? They're like, stay, whatever you do, stay on the phone.
Yeah.
Imagine being
so
like a
sketch.
parent. Yeah. Brutal. But no, we had like such amazing times together.
Yeah, it was so fun.
It was amazing. And I thank you so much for taking me under your wing.
Thank you for coming. We had such good times. Our dress up outfits for that the Transworld Team Challenge.
I still have that dress.
Yeah, I actually made mine into a skirt.
I actually wear that a lot now.
Awesome.
Because it's like my favorite dress. Gosh, that's so long ago.
I know.
Wow. Anyways.
Time flies.
We've talked about your Buffy line with Sessions. We talked about Chorus. We haven't talked about Velvet.
Yes.
That's a blast from the past.
That is a blast from the past.
Ryan
Runke.
I
know, Ryan Runke. I was freaking getting off the C bus the other day and someone had a snowboard with a Velvet sticker on it.
I saw a Chorus snowboard someone had, and I was like, I wish I'd kept my Chorus snowboards.
Yeah.
I have
so
mine. Good. You do?
I do. Yeah. Not all of them, but I have a bunch of them. Yeah, I'm glad I have them. But yeah, Velvet was awesome. Like Runke, Shannon.
Yeah.
Like
that was a solid crew.
Yeah. My sunglass was called Buffy.
None of this surprises me. Sarah Michelle Gellar, if you are listening, still a huge fan.
100%. Oh man.
Do you have anywhere in the world that you traveled to that was like your favorite spot? Everyone always asks me that question.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Where's your favorite?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Japan.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Like 100%. Like the snowboarding is epic.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the locals have said it's been a bad year, I'm like, this is epic.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. The people are so friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And the food. Then plus like when you go to Tokyo or Kyoto, like just exploring, it's pretty awesome. I love it. I
All
think
time.
I'd been 4 times.
So good.
My very first time I went with Chip Wilson from West Beach.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wild. I feel like West Beach is making a comeback.
Maybe.
I feel like someone said that the other day. Or like someone bought it and they're going to like revamp it. I don't know. Something like that. Okay. Let's talk about your life after snowboarding. So you were a professional snowboarder for many years. And then you came out of it, but you still gave back to the community being an agent. And that was a wild ride.
That was a wild ride. That was not a planned ride.
Okay.
At all. Like I actually, before I even like told my sponsors or anyone that I was going to retire, I actually applied for and got accepted to fashion design school because that's what I thought would be my after, because I got to work on and design so much apparel and boots and all this stuff, and I really liked it. So I was like, ooh, that's what I want to go into. So I'd already like applied for, got accepted. You know, I basically like retired and like a month later started that.
Can I ask you, rewind, what brought you to retirement?
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's somewhat of an easy one. Like the year before I didn't know what it was. Now I do, but I'd had this pain. I didn't have like an injury or a fall or anything, but I had this pain. It kind of went like down my leg and you know, I went to the doctor and I did don't do anything for 6 weeks. And then I did chiro and then I did physical therapy. I did Feldenkrais. I mean, I did.
Oh, I love a good Feldenkrais.
Yeah.
That's what got me into osteo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did everything, but nothing really like helped.
Yeah.
And I did get a referral to see someone at UBC, and you know, it takes a long time, right? So I'd kind of had already decided like that summer before, like, okay, if this pain's not gone by the winter, this is my last winter. Like I can't keep going like this.
I remember that.
Yeah. Cause it just kept me like I'd ride and I was like kind of like a little less than I'd want to ride because I was in pain. And then I'd come home at night and I just want to lay on the floor. Like it just, you know, in the end it was, what's it called? Sciatica, you know, but I didn't know that then, you know, and at the time I just thought like, okay, I haven't even had any major injuries and I'm already having this like constant pain. Like if I keep snowboarding, like I love being active. Like I love doing stuff and being outdoors. I'm like, ooh, if I keep snowboarding, like how am I going to feel in 20 years? Like,
for sure.
you know, so I was like, I think, you know, like, and I'm not riding at the level I want to be riding at. And so that wasn't that fun. So yeah. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna
bow out.
Yeah.
That's fair. How did your sponsors take it?
I mean, they like 32, like Eddie Lee, like I'd been with them for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And like they were totally awesome. And obviously like you can always get stuff, you know, like
it's like family.
Yeah. So like everyone was cool with it, you know?
Yeah. Understandable. No fun being in pain. Okay.
No.
So then you went into being an agent, really giving back to like the community and a bunch of athletes. And then after that you were in Encinitas.
Yeah.
And then you worked for the government in a sense there, which is so wild because we ended up both working for the government at the same time, which I was just like, okay, are we the same person? But you did a lot there. Like you gained so many skills and you had already graduated from design school. My parents went to her graduation.
Yeah, they did.
I can't remember where I was. I was out of country. I think I was still competing.
I think so. Yeah, you totally were.
And then I totally just didn't segue into your first Olympics.
Oh yeah. Yes. That I totally went to last minute.
Which was my 2010 Olympics.
No, 2006.
Oh, 2006. But did you come to 2010 too?
Yes.
You've been to two.
Yes.
See, okay, the thing is when I'm an athlete at the Olympics, I try not to be part of that situation because I really want to focus. So I missed out on having like so many people come to any Olympics. Wait, how did you make it to 2006?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like here I was like like I think I went there with like nowhere to stay.
Did you stay with my parents?
No,
Where'd you
I
stay?
stayed with Burton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because Elena was in the Olympics too.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
so I think it was kind of like Elena's in, Mercedes is in, I gotta go.
Yeah.
But of course I didn't really know what that meant. So I just went.
Yeah. No, I didn't know what it meant to go to the Olympics either.
I was like, I'll figure it out when I get there.
Yes.
And luckily I did figure it out when I got there.
Okay. How was that experience for you? I don't think we've ever talked about this.
Yeah. You know,
we don't normally talk about snowboarding.
Yeah,
That's
no,
like
we
the
don't.
thing.
You know, it was like, I mean, it was exciting and it was also like so different and kind of confusing. Like, I'm just like, you know, because before I sort of like had been an athlete and then being an agent, I sort of knew my place and knew where I could go and knew what I could do and who to talk to, you know, and then all of a sudden I'm in freaking a different country, you know, and it's the Olympics and I'm just like, wait, what does this mean? Where can I sit? How do I get close to my athlete? Like, I don't even know. Like,
no,
it's
you
just,
can't.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, no, actually you can't. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so
X Games and the Olympics are the polar opposite.
Totally. You know, like, I'm just like, wow. So that was definitely different.
Yeah.
And
did you enjoy watching or were you just gripped in the
No, I
stands?
totally enjoyed watching.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I totally did. Because I was just like, what an experience.
Yeah.
Like, for you, for Elena, for everyone there. Like, I was like, this is such a cool experience.
Do you know what I remember from that? Like, if I remember correctly, it was in Italy. So Giacomo Crotter was like the golden child.
Yes.
And he was like going so big, like so big in the half pipe that I was just like, to the moon. This is new. It was like charged up. And now that I reflect on like Vancouver, I'm like, oh, that's what Tora was talking about when like the whole crowd is going for you. It's like what they were doing with Giacomo.
Totally.
Which I was oblivious to.
Yeah. And that's what was so cool about, like, to me, I guess, because, you know, there wasn't this super huge Canadian presence in Italy.
Yeah.
That, like, to me, Italy seemed like reserved.
Right.
And then freaking Vancouver, like, when you competed up at Cyprus, it was like so loud and everyone just I was like, it was just such a different experience, you know. And of course I didn't get it now, but I'm like, oh yeah, because Mercedes, she's Canadian and we're all Canadian, you know. Like, I didn't get it at the moment, but I was like, man, like, everyone's really into it here.
I didn't get it,
you know, like, but it was nuts how and really cool to like experience how excited, like, you could actually like feel that energy of like how excited they were, you know. Like, it wasn't just like me and your dad and Phil, like, and your mom, cheering. Everyone was.
No, for sure. It's a wild ride. And I can't believe I forgot that you're in Torino too. That was so long ago.
I know.
I mean, we're old now. Okay, I do want to anything else you want to touch on after snowboarding career? Do you want to talk about your dancing? I'm just kidding.
No. But you know what I do want to say is that after my snowboard career, and thanks to my snowboard career, like when I went to fashion design school, my grad collection, I made snowboard outerwear, and Burton gave me the material to use for it.
So cool.
So like, that's just so cool to like have that kind of support, you know? So I guess I say that because I'm like, people have really supported me.
Yeah.
In all types of ways. And I have a lot of gratitude for that.
Yeah. Definite gratitude for the community. And sometimes it's hard. Like, sometimes it's hard for me to like get around the way that snowboarding's changed in a like cliquey kind of way where not everyone. I think everyone's just a little insecure is what it comes down to. Like, they're too shy to say hi or something like that. And then I personally take it on as they don't want to talk to me. And that's my own battle. But it is still a really lovely industry to be in. And personally, I have no regrets going from figure skating to snowboarding.
Totally.
Because it's the coolest. Or I want to close out and ask you, what makes you happy?
Like, is it only one thing?
No, it can be anything.
Okay. So being outdoors makes me happy. Always. All the time. Always. And two, I do love dancing with JP.
I got to see it. I got to see it firsthand, and it made me so happy. I
It's
almost
re-
had tears in my eyes. And if you know me now, I cry a lot, but whatever.
But yeah, that's fun. Like that's just like fun to do. Like dancing for me is like fun movement, which I love, but it's also like connection,
Yeah.
and creativity. And so like I love it.
You guys are the couple that I look up to. It's the cutest. I love them. If you don't know who her husband is, it's JP Walker. I don't really talk about him very often because Roberta is my best friend, so it doesn't really matter who her husband is, but we love him.
Yes.
And he's doing amazing things as well.
Mhm.
So I'm really proud of him too. Anything else you want to add?
Well, thank you for having me. I was really nervous.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I wanted to have you on before, but I wanted this to be a special episode, which it was, and it's our 100th episode, and I couldn't think of anyone better to have on.
Thank you.
From skateboarder to snowboarder to a magical human being right next to me that's still with us. I am in awe of you as always. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
dropping in today.
Thanks.
You can hit me up on Facebook or Instagram at Mercedes Nicoll, at Dropping In with Mercedes. Check it out. Let me know what you think of the series. And thank you for dropping in today. For dropping in today. You can find everything you want to know about Dropping In with Mercedes at droppinginwithmercedes.com. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks DJ Kenosis for the music and my mom for the intro voice. Do